There you are, just on time. You are the maintenance worker who complained about itchy ears, right? Right. You're the 8th one this week, so I have a pretty good idea of what's going on. It's spreading all over the ship, it seems. Why don't you have a seat right here, and I'll take a look at you. Have you had any other symptoms than itchy ears? You can hear little scuttling sounds. From inside your ears or from your surroundings? Yes, that happens sometimes. No, not to everyone. It usually just means that your ears are a bit sensitive. Any lack of sleep because of it? Yes, that sounds very tiresome, but I believe we can remedy that today. This instrument is a form of otoscope. I'll use it to examine the inside of your ears. Just taking a look at what we're dealing with for starters. You should feel no discomfort. Hold still, please, and I'll start with your left ear. Yes, there's a lot of them here. Looks just like the other cases. Little parasites, or insects technically, but they live in a symbiotic relationship with larger species on the planet we're orbiting. Fascinating ecosystem. Very complex. Your case looks like the same variant the exobiologists brought back with them. No, not intentionally. Samples are kept strictly confined, of course. These creatures are bothersome little stowaways. You seem to have quite a lot of them. Some are burrowing into the side of the ear canal, attaching themselves quite firmly. Others are still crawling around, looking for the best place to latch on. None have penetrated the eardrum. Good. If they had, this would have been much more complicated. I'll take a look at the other side as well. Much the same on this side. My guess is the little critters like the iron in our blood. Some of them are pretty big, actually. No wonder they've been bothering you. I will refrain from expressing what I think about exobiologists that removes their helmets on any world that has a somewhat breathable atmosphere just because they can. I think the bugs speak for themselves on that matter. This little alien invasion exemplify perfectly why we have strict decontamination rules as well. Rules that must also have been broken for this to happen. But at least my role on this ship is secure enough. I won't be made redundant by some AI medical hologram anytime soon. I am proven valuable and kept busy by other people's foolishness, so I shouldn't complain. Except I still do, because I enjoy it. Well, you seem to have the same species as everyone else, and there's very little variation from individual to individual. On first glance, there is nothing else wrong with your ear canals, but it can be difficult to tell with so many tiny squatters. I'll administer some numbing drops and pluck them out. Then we'll do a proper ear cleaning and disinfect them as well. And finally, I'll check if your hearing has been damaged at all. This pipette contains a numbing fluid. It's a mild painkiller with a very localized effect. It won't affect your hearing at all, but it will numb any pain when I start plucking the bugs out. Some of them have dug into your skin very deeply, so a local anesthetic is necessary. In spite of this, you will be able to sense what I'm doing, but without any pain. Let me know if it hurts at all, and I'll up the doses, but this should be sufficient. There will unfortunately be quite a bit of tingles. That is not to be avoided. The bugs are not fond of the numbing fluid and will move around more than usual when I start administering it, so be prepared for that. Move your head a little to the side for me. Thank you. And the other side. Everything okay? Good. I'll prepare the surgical tweezers. Can you feel the numbing effect yet? And that's good. It usually works quickly. This is the instrument I will use to remove the bugs. I called it surgical tweezers, but they are somewhat modified. They have a small light and camera, like the otoscope. And this part, yes, it's like a tiny drill. It will grab hold of the bugs and move around to hook them properly. Otherwise, they'll slip off easily. Yes, they are slippery little buggers. I had to experiment quite a bit to develop an efficient tool to remove them. So for you, this process should work fairly well, courtesy of all my other patients that went through the same thing before you. I'll start with the left ear again. You mostly work the night shift, don't you? You work exclusively nights. Lucky you. I would love to do that. I work mixed shifts. Haven't had a stable sleep pattern for more than a decade. Must be nice to only work when most people are asleep. Quiet and peaceful. Oh, that's a big one. It must have bothered you a lot. Good riddance. Left ear is done. I'd like to do the other one before cleaning and disinfecting. These parasites are symbiotes down on the planet. The life forms down there are different from other planets we have visited. Most life forms here are symbiotic. But the symbionts or parasites don't specialize in one species like you would expect. It's all cross species and highly adaptable. One symbiotic species could attach itself to a number of bigger species and offer its services, whatever they are. Energy boosts for hunting, better immune system. more efficient oxygen uptake, or to offer a whole digestion system. Some of the animals down there are just bits and pieces put together from a handful of other species, like Lego. Anything can be swapped out and put into something else instead. It's a fascinating planet. And here we are, right in the middle of it, or above it, if you like. We don't go planet-side, me and my team, but we are on hand if anything goes wrong. This is looking a lot better. I'm almost done. That was the last one. Your ears are now completely free of alien life. Must be a relief, Now let's give them a gentle cleaning with some disinfectant. You can think of this as a modern cotton swab, but it doesn't push anything further in. It catches hold of it instead. This will be the last instrument I insert into your ears today, but we will do a quick hearing test afterwards. I don't expect your hearing to be damaged, though. The bugs didn't get that deep. There are some tiny pinpricks here and there, but nothing that requires additional treatment. So far, these bugs seem to be mostly an annoyance, not an actual threat. Their biology are too different from ours to do us much harm. We're not really compatible. Lucky for us, I guess. last thing I would like to do is a simple auditory brainstem response test. It tests your hearing as well as your brain's response to sensory stimuli from your ears. No, it's not quite the same. I will attach these sensors to your head, one on each side, that is, and that will tell me how well the inner ear and the brain's pathways for hearing works. It tests both your hearing itself and how well your brain and nervous system responds to the sensory stimuli from your ears. There's no need to raise a hand to show me if you hear anything or in which ear. You can just lean back and relax. I will use a number of soft clicking sounds to check your response. It will take 5 to 10 minutes. Then we'll be all done, and you'll be free to go. Just put the headphones on whenever you're ready.